Hi, I'm going to talk to you today why you should start immediately. Start now, even if you're not ready, especially if you feel like you're not ready. I have my board here because I'm going to be showing you, like I mentioned in the last video, what a value ladder is and why you should start immediately, especially if you're at the implementation stage. Now, let's draw a picture to make it clearer for you. This is the value ladder. You can tell that I'm a great artist. So the first step and the first stage is what we call the implementation. And what does implementation mean? I've mentioned that in the last video, and it simply means you are the person doing the thing. You're not able to make so much because you are the person implementing, you're the person doing the thing. If you go to any hotel, you go to any place, any organization, you find out that the cleaning staff are the ones who work hardest. They work on the most dirty area, they clean the toilets, yet they are not the ones making the most in the organization because they are the implementation stage. And it's not just the cleaning staff, it is not just the warehouse staff. It is you who is seated and feel like you have a white collar job. But anytime you're not at that job, you cannot make money. If you decide to leave your job now for 1 month, will you make any money? You will have to resign because you can't just go off without working. So if you have to be present every single time to make money, it means you are still in the implementation stage. Simple. The next stage is what is then called the unification stage. Unification. Now, this is a higher level from the implementation stage because in this level, at the implementation stage, you're using what? Your muscles. You're using your muscles. You have to be present. You have to use your hands or you have to be present to make the money. In the unification stage, you are no more the one doing the thing. You're now managing people who are doing the thing. So you're using your what? Your management skills. Management skills. So even though this is a higher spiritual level, because wealth is spiritual, it is still not the highest stage. You can see it's still one of the lowest. It's just the second level. So you may be a manager. Yes, you have attained that position and you can make anywhere from 40K to maybe even as high as 300K, depending on the organization where you're managing. But it's still one of the lower levels of making wealth. In fact, true wealth creation starts from this stage. You see this dotted line? It starts from above the manager or above the managerial stage. Good, you're a manager, you're managing the people doing the implementation. But know that there's something higher. So if you've been there thinking about what's next, what's higher for me, why are you still restless? Even though you have attained that your former goal or that managerial level that you plan to attain. I can tell you from my own story. When I became a manager, it was all excitement, and you feel like, oh, I've gotten there. I've achieved my goals. In fact, got more than one managerial role. However, there's so much more. That is why you're here and you're trying to understand why you need to start a part-time business to ascend in the wealth creation and why you need to start now and immediately. After this stage, like we have mentioned in the past, is then the communication stage. Very important, communication. In this stage, that's where true wealth creation even begins. That's where you have a chance to make true wealth. You'll be surprised that people who have mastered communication, people like singers, authors who communicate through writing, and speakers, and all of the other people who communicate through writing are The people who are making the most. A speaker can just one outing make your entire annual salary. A singer can make just from one album can make so much. That is because they are all communicating, they are all in the communication stage. And finally, like I said in one of our previous video, the highest stage is imagination. This is all about ideas. Imagination, this is all about ideas. What can you think? What can you think and implement? Ideas. If I mention the word now Apple, you immediately think of someone. That's Steve Jobs. Even though Steve Jobs wasn't the one who implemented it, but he was the one who thought about it. That's the difference. That is the highest level of wealth creation. Why do you need to start now? Because if you're still here, you still have a 9 to 5 job, you're still working. No one is saying you have to quit your job. You can actually start part time with the knowledge that you have. I don't have any knowledge. How is that even possible? Think about it this way. What do you now know that you can teach your former self, your younger self, yourself 5 years from now or 5 years ago? There are things that you know now that you can teach that person. If you can teach that person, then you can teach anybody else. In fact, it's a good thing you have a job, because that's just sort of a proof of concept that if you're able to even get one client, start to see your employer as a client. So if you can have that client, it means you are actually in business already without even knowing it. So know this. So if you are still at this stage, you have to begin to ascend. How do you begin to ascend? Begin to look at the wealth creation stages. How do you begin with communication? You don't need a stage. You are not going to become a speaker overnight. You can actually start a YouTube channel that's free. You can actually start a YouTube channel, and in my next video, I'll show you step by step how to start a YouTube channel, because it's so easy. Even if you say, I don't want to put my face on camera, I don't want my face to show anywhere on social media, are you aware that there are people making thousands of dollars with a faceless YouTube channel? If you look at some of my previous videos, you find out that I was actually teaching people, giving value on YouTube without even having my face on there. That's why I have a passion for teaching people these strategies. If you're yet to like and subscribe to this channel, now is the time to do so, because I'll be teaching this stuff that will change your life. So click that subscribe button, click the like button, share it only to people who will get value from it. Now that you understand this concept, let's then talk about sharing your knowledge online. Stay tuned to this video, because I'm going to show you how to actually start a part-time business with your existing knowledge. How to share what you already know by just turning on the camera, and how to share it on YouTube. Why do I say YouTube? There are other social media channels, which is great, but you have to focus on one. And if you're going to focus on just one, my advice would be to focus on creating a YouTube channel. Why do I say create a YouTube channel first? Because YouTube channel content is ever growing. It piles up on each other. You put it out there, you have 30 views today. Tomorrow when you come back, you have 300 views. Before you know it, it's 3K. I have videos now that I have released years ago that have over 31K views, and it's still going higher and higher, and they have been released years ago, a couple of years back. That's why YouTube is good. Other social media channels, the content will just vanish after some time. It gained no other traction. But on YouTube, it's different. So YouTube may not even be now content. The content you make now will go a long way. This video I'm making now will teach somebody even 1 year from now, or even years from now. That's why I say YouTube. How do you then turn your existing knowledge on YouTube to a business? So you're teaching people what they need to know. You're actually giving value. This is not a get rich quick scheme. It's for only people. I only work with people who are ready to give value. You're actually teaching people what will be useful to them. What you know how to do, even if it's writing a CV, even if it's how to make up, or you definitely know something that you can teach online. So this is not me telling you to start an entertainment channel. It's good if you're an entertainer, but if you are a regular 9 to 5, a person or a professional who have a 9 to 5 job, or a busy mom, a busy parent, you can teach people even how to take care of their babies. The topics are endless, and with AI these days, you can generate endless topic. It has never been easier to make content online like it is now. You may not see the traction initially. It's just like a tree. When you plant a seed, let's say this is the ground. When you plant a seed in the ground, or you plant seeds in the ground, what happens first? You will not know that a tree will grow up from that seed. The first thing is roots begin to grow. Can you see that the seeds are growing downwards before they grow upwards? It's after they have gained firm roots that you begin to see a tree germinate from it. Before you know it, you have a big tree. See, you can tell I'm such a great artist. So this is a tree. So it started with the roots rather before the tree is up. But all the while, when it's below the ground, starting with the roots, some people might feel like, "Ah, nothing is happening. I only have 30 views on YouTube." Don't look at the number of views. People that have 30 views, 10 views are making money on YouTube. And I'll show you how. That is why I've created this academy for like-minded people where we can learn these things together. So the first link in the description box is the one you need to click for you to book a strategy call with me. Finally, let's talk about what is this business all about? What does it take to start a business or to change my existing knowledge to a business? It is simple. Business involves just 4 things. 4, not 40. And the first one is what is called lead generation. What do we mean by generating lead? It means turning on that camera, which I talked about. Turn on your camera and let people see you. The people are the leads. Let them see what you do. Let them hear what you do. It's already a free platform. It doesn't get easier. And today with AI, you can actually ask AI, what do I talk about? What do I know? First of all, there's a way to train AI. You give it your background and you say, I studied this. Or I know how to do this. I'm good at making up. Or I'm good at cooking. I'm good at looking after children. Or I'm good at writing CVs. How do I turn this into a business on YouTube? How do I turn my existing knowledge? That's why you have us to teach you these things. So once you come in front of people, people are the lead. You're generating leads because that's where people see you. They then say, oh, this person does this. And once you're giving value, I promise you, people are going to hop on your training classes. And your training classes, of course, will be paid. I'm not telling you something from theory. I'm telling you exactly what I'm doing at the moment. This is something I'm on at the moment. So I can tell you step by step exactly how it works. The next step, after you have created your YouTube channel and turned on the camera, that is, you don't need anything fancy. Your phone can record a video. It is that dead simple. The next thing is lead conversion. So you're converting the leads to customers. Conversion. So you're converting the leads to customers because now when they ask you, oh, what do you do? Okay, you're directing them and saying, oh, click this link, scan this QR code. You're converting them to customers. And these are people you are giving value to. It is not you not giving them what would help them succeed. You're actually helping them because you're saving them time. They would have gone on never achieving it, or they would have gone on trying to struggle to achieve it. But you have done it and you have succeeded, or you are in the process, and then you're now showing them this is exactly how to do it, thereby saving them time, giving them value. So don't see it as, oh, what will people say if they know I'm selling my existing knowledge? See it as you're actually saving lives. You are helping people by sharing your knowledge. You're saving people time and making them go further faster. What they would have spent 4 years doing, they can spend just 4 days because they took your coaching, because they took your course, because they read your book. So whether they read your book or it's your course or it's your coaching class, it saves them time and teach them what they otherwise wouldn't have known. That's why you're converting the lead. But you have to reach out to them. There are people online waiting for you to show up. It's because you've been hiding. It's because you've been thinking of what will people think about me if they see me online. That's why you are depriving people of what they should have had just because you're thinking too much and overthinking the process. But when you change that mindset and actually understand that, hey, I'm actually giving value. I'm here helping people. This is what I'm supposed to be. I'm made a creator because I came or I hail from a creator. God created the entire earth and created you and gave you the same ability to create. What are you waiting for? If you haven't started for 20 years, so 20 years is lost, so you have to start now, immediately. If you're 30, you haven't started. So leave that 30 years that has been lost and start immediately. Because if you wait for one more year, 2 more days, one more day, still thinking about it, still wondering what people will say, divorce every need for validation. You just need to know that you are doing what God has called you to do, which is sharing with others, teaching others, helping others, giving value online. It doesn't get easier than that. You do not need a stage. Every single person can begin this. Is that simple. And the third one is customer. You see, now I'm no more calling them leads because you have converted the leads. You generated the leads by coming online and you have converted them. So they are now customers. This is customer ascension. So when they come into your space, they become your tribe. You continue to give them value even at a higher form. You were on YouTube before, giving them value, giving freely. Sell this knowledge and you're not paying a dime for what you're learning now. So freely share this knowledge on YouTube and they will come and work with you to even gain more further, to even gain more knowledge further. So, customer ascension, that is when they hop into your coaching classes. That is when they buy your book. That is when they buy your courses. It's called customer ascension. And the lastly, I told you, is just 4, not 40. So it's so easy. Is customer retention. This is so interesting because once they become your customer, usually they go on becoming your customer because they can buy your book, they can buy your coaching, they can hop on your podcast. As they succeed, as they progress, be happy for them. You can even feature them on your podcast. You can feature them on your channel. You'll be happy that they are also succeeding. So you can see that in a way you have retained them as a customer. They join your membership program and year after year they become your customer. So you're building a tribe of success. All of you are success. You're making success. You're changing their story. So that's what you're doing. So it's a noble thing that you would be able to teach other people what you know. You can die with your knowledge. The grave is the place that is full of so many ideas and so many knowledge being buried. Or you can share it with other people. And if you're wondering, how do I go about this step by step? That is why you can have to click the first link below so that you can join my coaching, and I will teach you how to build a part-time business. You may already have a job, but you can build a part time business with your existing knowledge. It's that simple. And you have a coach to guide you. You have my team to guide you. You have me as a whole to guide you. So click the link below, click subscribe, because I'll be sharing more of this content. And what you need to watch next is exactly how to start a YouTube channel, which I say I will detail for you in the next video. See you in the next one.